The hits keep coming here at the second day of Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio. It is Friday afternoon. I have the pleasure of once again talking to a good friend of mine, Mark H. Walker, the head honcho behind both Flying Pig Games and Tiny Battle Publishing. And we've got a few items we're going to talk about today. So why don't we talk about what's hitting very, very shortly. I know you had some copies here at the show that you were selling, and that is a design from a designer who I think people have heard of, who's a good pal of mine, Herman Luttman. Yep. And it is the Devil's Toupee, and that's toupee, not toupee.
Right, it's not like toupee.
Right.
Yep.
And it's the first day at Gettysburg. And that's your first box game with Tiny Battle.
Oh, yeah, it is the first box game. And we're releasing it simultaneously with a new hair product line.
Right.
So, okay, enough funny stuff. Yeah, we'll be, and, you know.
I will share some B-roll so people will see it.
Right, cool. That's right. Exactly what I was thinking.
People got it.
I was thinking, how am I going to duck off camera, get a copy of this game, and show it to you? So anyhow, the Devil's Toupee is a, now that you've said toupee, I can't get it out of my head.
I know.
The Devil T.O.P. is a game about the first day of Gettysburg. It is based on a previous system that Herm has done called something Swords. I can't remember, honest to God, sorry. But anyhow, it's a simple yet flavorful game about the first day. It uses demi brigades, DEMI. So what that means is rather than breaking brigades into regiments and whatnot, they're broken down as they were actually employed that first day.
Right.
I like it. It doesn't make units evaporate. If you're with me on this, what I'm saying is, if a Civil War unit the day after a battle still existed, yet in so many Civil War games, they get eliminated, right, so to speak.
Right.
Well, in this, they can be disheveled, disjointed, reduced, but they always have a chance to reorganize and come back. And that gives it a flavor and a consistency that I haven't felt in a Civil War game, and I really enjoy it.
Fantastic. It looks pretty impressive. I have to admit, I've shared some news about it, of course.
Yeah.
So, and of course, people are going to see some B-roll, so get to check that out as well. So that's Herman's new game. We got another game from Herman that kickstarted very successfully. It's coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
And it is Crowbar, the Rangers at Point du Hoc.
Wait a second. So here it is. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Look at that.
Is this bad?
Look at that. Look at that bad boy.
So here it is. This is what we call pre-production copy. So this is actually what people will be getting. This is the exact physical game people will be getting. This is what you call a push-your-luck game. Yeah. So folks that remember Herm's game on Pickett's Charge. Do you remember the name?
In magnificent style.
He's an encyclopedia. Anyhow, it's similar to that. It's derivative of that. So you take charge of the Ranger Battalion that stormed Point du Hoc. You will have lanes that each of your companies are in. And then each time you activate a company, rather than having a table you look at, you will have a special die that, if I can get it out without disrupting this interview too much, I'm going to show you one of them. You will have a special die that dictates what happened. Let's just throw this stuff away. So they look like this. Oh, man. Come on.
Oh, just hold them up in the bag. You're fine.
Well, I wanted to show them with something which you can't see, but you have to trust me on
You can
this.
hold it closer up. Here we go. There we go. Look at that. It's like in 3D. It's coming at you. Which was the name of a 3D movie, I remember. Coming at you.
Yes.
It was horrible.
You have 4 of these dice. Anyhow, they're yellow, green, red, and black. And that is, the yellow have the least risk, and then they have the least chance of doing good for you, too. Right. Then as you accelerate through into the black, greatest risk, greatest benefits. So as you activate one of these platoons, you can choose any one of the 4 dice to roll, and you can continue to roll unless something happens to you till you've rolled all 4 dice. Sure. Okay, so it's a push your luck, literally.
Exactly.
You can roll the easiest one, maybe get some small advance, one square or something, and say, okay, that's fine. Or if you
Go balls out.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about that is that you only have a certain amount of time. So if you take it easy all the time,
you're never going to get there.
Yeah, and you won't have any casualties, but you won't have any victory points either. It's a fascinating solitaire game. I personally enjoy it very much. I like anything Herm does. So I'm looking at the pre-production copy here. The game should be in the States in August. And we will fulfill the Kickstarter orders lickety-split, and then we'll be shipping them to other people.
And of course, everybody knows they'll see it on the Gaming Gang on the Daily Dope. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
You can
You'll
see
be
it.
one of the first people we send it to after the Kickstarter.
I get
people.
it.
Yeah.
I am 100% behind that. I am one of these people where it's like, if a company does a Kickstarter, you better not be selling that at some convention before those backers got it. I take people to task for that. So, no, I expect the backers to get their hands on it ASAP.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets through customs, I guess we'll say.
Yeah, and hopefully, we'll see what's going on with that when that happens. As a matter of fact, on the 17th, if everybody wants to go to sleep, but on Monday is when whether or not board games will have a tariff associated with them goes before the tariff review board or whatever it's called. Hopefully we'll be too small to worry about. Yeah.
Right. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see.
And one thing I do want to mention as far as Crowbar is that historically the Rangers scaled these insane cliffs, right? Because they were supposed to knock out these artillery pieces that turned out not to be there.
Well, they weren't where they thought they were exactly. They were in that same general area, and they did find them and knock them out. But yeah, I mean,
they move around. In the game, they could move around. It's even possible they're not there. Am I correct?
Oh, that's absolutely right. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The way that's represented is...
So there's a lot of replayability because you never really know where those artillery pieces are going to be. Those batteries are.
Again, I was going to grab a counter sheet, but I'm not going to do that. The way that's represented is you have a counter that on one side just has a question mark, and on the other side could have anything from a gun to an ambush to a German officer you capture, and those are all mixed up and then placed on the board, and they're placed in the same places, but you won't have the same results because you don't know what's on the flip side of it.
Right.
So, yeah. It's a lot of fun, and I
enjoyed it in magnificent style. I certainly did.
I did too. I played it one time when Herm proposed his game to me. I don't know why, because if Herm tells me he's doing a game on toilet flushing, I'm in. Right. I'm totally freaking
pushing your luck on the toilet flushing.
Yeah, exactly. But if you guys haven't played a Herm Luttman game, go play one. I don't care if it's from GMT. I don't care if it's from Revolutionary.
Victory Point
games. Victory Point games, which doesn't exist, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Didn't somebody just buy them?
Yeah, but they still exist as an entity. I just spoke with them. So, it's not Alan Emmerich running the show anymore. But, yeah, that's a little inside baseball we probably don't want to get into.
Cool.
But
that's cool.
Yes, I should mention, I will mention this when I talk with Herman, because I've got an interview with him coming up. The third edition of Dawn of the Zeds is back in print.
Yeah, I saw that over there.
Right, so...
Yeah.
Yes, so that's
I've never
very
played
cool.
that one.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I bet
it's my favorite zombie game. It really is.
Yeah.
So let's move on, because otherwise people are going to start thinking the name of your company is Herman Luttman Games.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a couple of Kickstarters that are going to be on the horizon. First off, let's talk about Old School Tactical Volume 3.
Which
is the Pacific.
So for those of you that don't know, or even those of you that do know, Volume 1 was Old School Tactical is a squad level game. The chits represent squads, individual tanks, stuff like that, leaders, machine guns, whatever. Very violent. And anyway, Volume 1 was the Eastern Front. So you had Russians versus Germans. Volume 2 was Western Front. So you had Americans versus Germans. We kind of glossed over the whole Allied participation. We'll come back to that later.
Right.
And then Volume 3 will be the Pacific Theater. In this case, again, we're glossing over the whole Allied participation and just saying Japanese versus Americans. And that
mainly Marines, I would guess.
Mainly Marines, although there are Army units in the game, too.
Of course,
They were very important, too.
Sure.
And there's IJN, which is the Japanese. Now, that would be the Navy.
Right.
IGA, IJA, whatever.
I thought it's like 3, or it's 4 letters or something. I know what you're talking about.
IJA is the Imperial Japanese Army.
Yeah.
And then the Marines are called something else. But anyhow, it has Army and Marines. And it goes on Kickstarter. Let's back up. It has U.S. Marines, U.S. Army, Japanese Army, Japanese Marines, goes on Kickstarter late June. I will send out a newsletter. We will be tweeting. It will be on Facebook. Jeff will know. Everybody else will know. Yeah. Well ahead of time when it starts, because it's become so critical now on Kickstarter. You got to bust through those goals in the first day, or everybody goes, that'll never make it.
Right. It used to be if you were 50% to your goal with 2 weeks ago, everybody's like, yeah, you're golden. Not anymore.
Pretty much now you need the first day. But it always works for us. I mean, this will be our 12th. We've never had a problem. I think our games are reasonably good, and people know that.
I like them a lot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't talk.
Right.
Really? I mean, come on. What other garbage you got coming out now, Mark?
But I got some B-roll I got to fill.
Yeah, there you go.
So anyhow, that's late June, and that'll run through late July.
I'm excited because there are not a lot of tactical level Pacific Theater games out there.
Which is interesting because there are 250,000 tactical level games now, and that's okay. I mean, for 2 reasons. One, it's fun.
Yeah.
The second reason is because it's fun, game publishers know a lot of people want to play them.
Sure.
So, if they come up with a good design, like I just got Last 100 Yards from GMT.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to play it yet, and I'm currently in my spare time playing. I don't know if you ever had a chance to review this, Beyond Normandy, the beginning of the end.
No, I have not.
Nicholas Scooby and
who's that from?
Yeah.
It's from a good company, probably.
Anyhow,
okay. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No worries. We're talking your games,
right. Yeah, but anyhow, the point is that with as many tactical games that are out there. Right. A lot of them don't cover, the Pacific Theater, which is tailor-made for infantry-type tactics and 2 totally disparate type armies.
Do you think it's because things were really nasty?
Well, I mean, board games don't cover that in general.
I know, but I mean, people think of, I'm just pontificating here, but even historically, the way the Allied troops, especially Americans, treated the Germans was vastly different than when they were fighting the Japanese. So I don't know if maybe that's something that makes people shy away.
I don't know. Maybe people that play conflict simulations like tanks. I think that's
probably,
a lot of it.
I know that's a big key.
And there wasn't a big, isn't a big part of the
not a big
the Pacific
They were
Theater.
there, but not a big presence.
Right. So that could be it. But I'm with you. I'm super excited about it. We'll not only have the base game, will be part of Kickstarter, but one of the stretch goals will be a complete expansion called Hellbent.
Oh, wow.
And it will have a beautiful full map board with beaches on it and whatnot for amphibious assaults. So, pretty exciting stuff.
Then let's wrap up with another Kickstarter that's on the horizon. This is, I'm not familiar with much with this game. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, one last thing I want to mention about Old School Tactical.
Yeah.
For those folks out there, the grognols out there who enjoy good, meaty war games, Old School Tactical, just because the name is old school, does not mean all the mechanics are old school. There is a lot of modern mechanics to the game.
Sure, I think so too.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of funny because when Shane brought it to us, Shane, the designer of the game, when he brought it to us, I asked him, why old school? Because, I mean, you have some pretty unique things in this game. He said, I don't know, it just seemed right. So I said, Okay, cool by me.
Right.
But there have been a
You're
lot
the
of
designer.
people.
It's cool.
There are a lot of people that just, they go, what's old school about this? Well, the name's stuck, and it gets people to talk, too, so why not? Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the other Kickstarter, and it is for La Resistance.
La Resistance! Sorry if...
So I'm taking a wild guess that maybe this is the French resistance during World War II?
It is. It is a World War II French resistance themed game. Okay, you're not going to learn anything about the French resistance. You aren't going to take a counter and move it around a building or something like that. It's a card game.
Okay.
I'm surprised by the number of people that have actually seen it. We have a copy here with us. A full production copy of the game. It's a card and dice game, and fairly simple mechanic. You control a resistance leader, and you have a resistance band of an indeterminate size. You start off with 6 members in your band. Okay. What you're trying to do is accumulate glory points. And the way you accumulate glory points is you have missions that you go on. There's a mission card deck. And at any one time, there are 3 missions in front of you.
Okay.
You have 6 die that you roll. 6 dice, that would be plural. 6 dice that you roll. When you roll these dice, you use them to cover different areas on these missions to solve the missions.
Got it.
When you solve the mission, you will get glory points. If you don't solve the mission, you can lose recruits.
Okay.
Then there are something called C'est la guerre cards that can be purchased to help you screw with your other French resistance leaders. Now, obviously, you're all French, and you're all trying to win your country back from the Germans, but you may want more glory than somebody else, so you may do some stuff to get some more glory points. It's a great game. It's a fun game.
How many players?
It can play up to 5.
Nice.
Yeah, which was one of the big things. One of the things I think about more and more, because most of the game groups I'm in, are multiplayer. And after I designed Dark War, the RPG, and spent a year playing in bigger game groups, is one of the weaknesses of wargaming in the community is that it's 2 players, most of them.
Head-to-head.
Yeah, it's
and the vast majority of games.
Right, and that's, the Coin series, for example, shows how popular multiplayer can be.
Right.
So I focused a lot on that. I mean, that's why I have this. That's why I have La Resistance, is so it can be done. It's a multiplayer game. It's also introductory. I mean, honest to God, I just taught you all how to play it. Pretty much you can sit down right now.
So you don't have to back it on Kickstarter. You already...
No.
You got the rules yourself. Just make your own components.
Now, just make up the components and you're good to go. But that one will run in August.
Okay.
And a moment for my philosophy on Kickstarters and that type of stuff, we will have Old School Tactical Volume 3 at the printer by August, and we will have already shipped Crowbar before we run this this one for La Resistance, which will be much different from previous ones because we run it and then we have the capability. This one's printed in the States here because of some component issues that make it easy to print in the States. I hope to fulfill it within a month at the end of the Kickstarter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts you'd like to share with the audience, Mark?
I would like to design some hair products, something to help this.
I still have mine. I'm okay. People, you know how many people think I'm bald, and that's why I wear a baseball cap all the time?
Besides me?
You thought I was bald?
No, I didn't think you were
just
bald.
usually have a bad haircut.
No, I don't know. I always have. But since you asked for final thoughts,
people asking, "Are you bald?" Because you always wear a baseball cap, and I'm like, "No, I just love baseball caps."
Yeah.
Sorry.
But since you asked for final thoughts,
yes,
I'm going to say this: if you guys aren't coming to Origins, you ought to come. I've been coming off and on since 1981, something like that, and the energy here now compared to, like, let's say 2012, which was kind of the low point for the convention. You just feel it. It's not just that there are more people.
Right.
It's just a better energy here. It's fantastic. And we're one of only 2 wargame companies here.
Yeah, you are.
And because of that, it works out real well for us. But in general, man, if y'all haven't had a chance to come to Origins and have fun. It's a great place.
I would piggyback on that by saying, if you have not gone to a convention for gaming,
oh God, yes,
please go.
Go do it.
They're a blast. You have even the smaller, local. They're fantastic.
A 200-person convention
can be amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
When we get here, not to carry this on too long, but as I was telling you last night, I guess it was, when we get here, now I bring a team of 5. They're all friends or like my daughter or whatnot. But anyhow, we set up really fast, and then we spend all day Wednesday gaming at the different things at the conventions.
Right.
And we'll game in the evening at the different events
at
the conventions. It's just the way to be. It's fantastic, and that's after demoing our games all day.
You played, all day
a blast,
long, and you're like, let's go play some more games.
Yeah, so.
Sweet. Mark, as always, it's a pleasure to talk.
Good to see you, Jeff.
And you said I don't have anything to talk about. We had plenty to talk about.
You got me going.
Thanks for watching my Origins Game Fair 2019 coverage. If you'd like to see more convention coverage, click right here. And if you'd like to see a somewhat random video from the Gaming Gang channel, including recordings of the live Monday through Friday episodes of The Daily Dope, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe.